What is up, everybody? What is up? I hope you guys are doing good today. I am just getting off from work. It is late, but I had to come on here and do a little review. So, some weeks back, one of you asked me, would I review the Belle Collective? And I said that I needed to catch up on it and I needed to see what the show was about. So, I watched the show. I watched all of the first season because I don't like to come in and not know what's going on. And I realized that I've actually watched this show before. I've actually watched episode 1 or 2. I've watched a few episodes of the show before, and I had just forgotten all about it because I think initially when it first came on, I was going to review it. And then for whatever reason, I decided not to. I can't remember the reason why. I might have just had a lot going on at the time. But I did watch all of season 1, and I must say that it was pretty entertaining. I think that I would be interested in going further and reviewing the episodes so far in season 2. I know they're probably about 5 episodes into the season at this point, so I know I'll be jumping in, but yeah, so this video is really just to kind of sum up everything that I thought about season 1, what I'm thinking about the characters so far. Keep in mind, y'all, I've only watched 1 episode of season 2. So I'm pretty sure my opinions will change and all of that. Like, you guys don't have to spoiler alert me. I'm pretty sure some stuff will change, but this is just a little conversation about season 1 of the Belle Collective and what I like and what I don't like so far. So let's get to it. All right, so let's talk about the show. So Belle Collective is a show that's set in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi. I've met a great deal of people from Mississippi. Always cool, always a vibe, and very country. Just like myself. Y'all know how it is when all of us country folk get together. Different degrees of country for sure, but country nonetheless. And I must say, I have to give it to Carlos King. Even though we was perturbed and everything that went down with Portia and Phaedra and Candy at that reunion, y'all remember the whole dungeon thing, right? Well, it was actually allegedly Carlos King who told Phaedra that information, but we're gonna let bygones be bygones. And I will say, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, some of its best seasons were the ones where Carlos King was involved. I mean, it was, I must say, I did notice that his seasons were quite spicy. But it's good to see him go on and do good things and put these smaller cities on the map. I just love to see it. I hope he continues to do more stuff like this because there are things happening. There are things going on. I was on Twitter the other day, or was it Twitter or TikTok? I was on TikTok and somebody was like, what is the blackest city that you have ever lived in, but nobody would believe you? And this girl said Columbia, South Carolina. I said ditto. I was just thinking the same thing. But a lot of these places you wouldn't know about because the only cities where there's a large black population that really gets talked about are your big contenders, you know, like your Atlantas, now your Houstons. That's a huge name now. So, you know, a lot of other cities in the South don't really get talked about. And when they do, it's kind of in that negative realm of where, oh, no, I don't know how black people living out there. I would never live out there. I would never move. And it's just like, that's because you only see what's on TV or you only see the bad things that get posted about a particular city. But I like that Carlos is putting these other cities like Huntsville, Alabama, and like Jackson, Mississippi out there. And I hope he continues to do these things because, you know, we don't all have to be populated in one city. We can move around, especially if you're trying to find a good space to raise up a family, because a lot of these cities is party cities. Don't get me started. But if you're trying to raise your family, but you want to be around like-minded black people, I think this show does a great job of showing you a different side of Jackson, Mississippi, some things that you might not know. So love that, Carlos King, and much success to you. And I hope that you're able to keep doing things of this nature. All right. So the basis of the show centers around the ladies trying to do a joint collective business move in renovating or buying back Fair Street. Okay, this is an area in Jackson, Mississippi, where Black businesses used to thrive, and everybody was able to come out there. The community was able to rally together, and everybody was able to get what they needed. And I'm guessing this was probably around the civil rights type, segregation type era. This is when businesses were really doing well. So it is Latisha's goal. Okay, Latisha is one of the characters on the show. It is her goal to bring all of these women together to invest in this project. Now, y'all, I just watched all of season 1, and I know my opinions on people are going to change, and I know that you all probably know more of what's going on since we're now at, I think, episode 4 or 5 in episode 2, so I'm still catching up. But as far as season 1 goes, I never really saw any progress on this joint venture, and y'all know my stomach started getting queasy. I started feeling lightheaded because I had a flashback of the comeback group. And I'm telling y'all, if this project turns into another comeback group, I know something. I'm coming through the TV and I'm fighting everybody. I can't take it. I cannot take it. But they want to work together on this joint project and try to bring it back. But between all of the arguing and between all of the mess and between the fact that Latisha, I don't know if Latisha did any research before she went out there and started pricing stuff and getting contractors and getting people to come out there and all of this other stuff. But it's going to be quite expensive to buy the block back. And when the appraiser was like, well, this building not for sale, it actually needs, I was like, it's not for sale, but it's just boarded up, just sitting here. And it's a historic landmark. It seems like it's going to be a lot of work between getting through the coding and whatever needs to be done for the city, getting the funds available to do all of this buying back. What are you buying back? What are you going to do with the buildings? Some of the buildings are strictly for rent and not for sale. It's just, I saw the comeback group. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just hoping it's not another comeback group. But the basis of the show is these ladies coming together to do a joint project that by the end of season 1 doesn't seem to be happening. But let's move forward. Let's talk about the characters on the show. So one of the first characters on the show is Miss Tambra. Tambra is a radio personality. She is fun. She is bubbly. She is happy-go-lucky. I really do like her personality. So far, season 1, y'all, just keep in mind, I've only watched season 1. And I hope I'll continue to like her in season 2. Tambra's storyline really just centers around the moves that she's trying to make in her career. But more importantly, the fact that she really, really wants to have a child. She really wants to have a family. We see her reconnect with an ex that she had been with, I think she said, for 16 years. Ladies, who we with for 16 years? Like, unless they started dating when she was 16, but even still, at some point in them 16, like, what is we doing? But anyway, we see her reconnect with an old flame, and they decide that they are possibly ready to start a family together. Now, I've seen a little bit of season 2, so I do know that there is going to be something going on with him next season. I don't know. I don't want to see Tambra hurt for sure. And I would love to see her start her family. She's actually frozen her eggs. She has had some difficulty with fibroids, and I'm not sure if she froze her eggs because of the fibroids, but for whatever reason she did it, it actually was a very wise idea. I know excuse me, guys. My doctor was telling me years ago, she was just saying that a lot of people think freezing your eggs is strictly having to do with wanting to have a child in the future due to age, but freezing your eggs is a good idea for a lot of reasons. You are healthy today, but who's to say what's going to happen tomorrow? And you guys know how, honey, our body will turn, especially that coochie. Won't that coochie try to turn on you? Like y'all ain't been together all your life. But you got fibroids in the mix. You have various forms of cancer. And of course we do our best to stay healthy and stay on top of all of our appointments. And she was just saying, you never know what could happen. You could be in an accident, and you want to know that the option is available to you. So with Tambra and the problems that she has with her fibroids, I know that medicine has advanced a lot, and they don't have to remove anything just because you have fibroids, but just with the complications that could come from it, I actually think that was a wise decision for her to make. And she just not out here getting pregnant by anybody, just out of desperation as well. So I hope she's able to start her family. I would hate to see her have regrets from not doing so. Now Tambra better than me, because whoever offered whatever NBA player offered her those $1 million when she was younger to have his baby, I would have been right there having a baby. Okay, we'd have been going half on it. Well, actually not even half. We would have been going me 10% and him 90. I would have done it, y'all. My young mind was money hungry. I would have done it. I would have had that baby, and not even thinking about years down the road when I got to explain to my baby how we got here and how me and this man never even dated before. Me and your daddy never dated. We had an agreement. But yeah, so Tambra's really won that family, and I do want that for her. She seems to be a good friend, specifically to Latisha. Other than that, most of her storyline just centers around her and this child. And Lord help me in her confessionals, because Tambra in that voice, I don't know if I'm ready to have this back. I was just like, Lord, Carlos, get with the girls. Get with the girls. Teach them how to talk in the confessionals, because Tambra used to be so excited. I don't know how she is in season 2, but I know in season 1, the confessionals about wore me out. But that's Miss Tambra. And so far, season 1, by the end of season 1, I like Tambra. All right, the next person we get introduced to on the show is Latisha Patterson. I like Latisha. I don't know why she's yelling constantly in her confessionals, but you know what? We just gonna go with it. Okay. She just loud and so am I. So, yeah, we just gonna go with it. Belle Collective, I have to remember that it's a new show. I watched the first season, and the wigs always get better from season 1, season 2. You got to give people time to get it right, but the Latisha will be about to wear me out. One time she came out in this wig, and I looked up at the TV. I said, what is going on? I didn't even know who it was. But she seems to be a cool woman. I know there was some drama. We're going to talk about some of the drama that happened throughout, season 1. I'm just telling you what I think about the characters so far. By the end of season 1, I still liked Latisha. I mean, there was some things that I didn't like, but overall, I still like Latisha. She does have a son. She is married. Child, these husbands. We gonna have a whole segment just about maybe, because I don't even know if they worth talking about. But most of Latisha's story centers around getting the ladies together for this project through her organization, some type of brunch organization. Child, I don't know. I mean, I guess she creates events to get women together to network. That's what it sounds like to me. But she's trying to get this project worked on with the ladies. She wants to make an announcement. She wants all of them to come in together and do this business. Let's buy back the block. Let's do this. Listen, I love it. I think it's a great idea in theory, but I think in actual doing, a lot of things are easier said than done, and this project is one of them. But I would still love to see the ladies doing that, honey. Black women building up the community. We ain't finna wait on nobody else to do it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. I'm all for it. Latisha has a big, bold personality. She is funny to me for sure. Seems to be very real, down to earth. And just trying to get everybody together to work on this project. And like I said, by the end of season 1, still like Latisha, still enjoyed her. Let's move on to our next one. All right. So next character we meet is Dr. Antoinette. I liked Antoinette. She seems to be a cool person. I like the fact that she's gone into dentistry. I like the fact that she talks about representation, and it's being important that other little Black children see something that they could be one day and that they could grow into. Her storyline just centers around her trying to start her dental mint dentistry, her own dental office, her own dental practice. It also centers around her previous marriage. She was in a interracial marriage. She talks about it a lot on the show. She talks about it, but doesn't talk about it at the same time. It's like you see her trying to move on. You see her trying to heal. I think they were married in their early mid 20s. And the relationship went south. Her reasoning, the reason that she gives has to do with having interracial children and them not really being sure if that's something that she wanted to do, and she didn't want people to choose the identity for them. At least that's what she says in the reunion. But from the consensus I got from the people in the comments, it seemed that most people aren't really buying that reason and think that there may have been a little bit more to it than just that. I don't really know. I mean, if you're in an interracial relationship for some time, I'm pretty sure these kind of discussions get brought up well before marriage. I just can't really see them not happening unless just in their youth they were so excited to be together and maybe they just was like, everything will work itself out. I don't know. But yeah, that's one of those things that I feel like was probably be discussed kind of early. So I think I'm along with everybody else that there had to be more to it than just that. And maybe we find out in season 2, y'all. I don't know. Because remember, I told you I haven't watched it all yet. But that is the reason that she gives for, well, at least part of the reason for the demise of her marriage. Antoinette is a good friend of Latrice's and another woman who don't need to be on the show. I ain't gonna say her name right now, but she's a good friend of Latrice's, and they are tight. They have a good time together, and she too has gotten into her own little drama, but really more so on behalf of her friend Latrice. She too has gotten into a couple of little spats with Miss Marie, and with no further ado, let's go ahead and get Marie on out here. Latrice, child, all these loves. Latrice said she the Beyonce of Jackson, Mississippi. So, I was already chuckling as soon as she came on the screen. She calls her husband Zaddy. That was a lot for me. But I know women. I know 2 women who call their husband daddy. I don't hang around them much, but I do know 2 women who do it. Like that's his name. Her husband is older than her. I don't know how big of an age difference. I would definitely say it's over 10 years, might be more than that, but there's a significant age gap between the 2 of them. And she said, when you see her, you see him, and when you see him, you see her. So she always has her husband with her. She has a successful hair company, a very successful hair company. They have hair vending machines, which is a great idea. That was so smart. But she's very successful. It makes great money. A beautiful girl. I would say one of the more fashionable women of the group for sure. Season 1 really just focused on her business and her business growth and some other opportunities. She was trying to take her brand to the next level. Her husband was trying to invest in her brand as it was going to the next level. So there's some conversation surrounding that. And y'all know it was some drama, right? It was some beef. Even though her and Latisha seem to be, I don't know, it seems to me that her and Latisha were more so new friends, and then Latisha and Marie had been friends for some time already. But it seemed like Latisha and Latrice's relationship was a little bit newer. But yeah, we see her get into some drama, okay, some tit for tat with another character on the show by the name of Marie, who I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And that's pretty much the basis of her storyline. Her hair company, her relationship with Zaddy, and this beef that she is going to have with Miss Marie, which we're going to discuss the drama in a minute after the characters. Oh, But to add in, did I like Latrice by the end of season 1? Eh, I'm in between. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm in between. But I think, yeah, overall, I would say yeah. You know, Marie is a complex character to me. And I'm going to tell you where the complexities come in. When she first came on the screen, I already knew she was going to be the one. I already knew she was going to be the antagonist. I already knew she was going to be the one to get stuff started. I could just tell by the way she came on the screen. It was very much, I'm a boss and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and people know me and I'm this and so I knew what Marie was going to give when she came up on the screen. What I wasn't expecting was her to show up at that brunch looking like Lil Bo Peep. I mean, that outfit was so funny to me. Like, I just kept rewinding when she was walking in like, yes, I am Miss Southern Belle, honey. I just know that and you couldn't tell her she wasn't looking good. You couldn't tell her she wasn't looking good. She had on a wig. The hair was from Latrice's hair company. And that is the beginning of the drama between her and Latrice. It all started with some hair. All right? Keep that in mind. But the reason why I say Marie is layered, because I knew she was going to be the one. But then y'all know how it is. Once you find out the person that's starting the drama, once you find out their backstory, you kind of be like, I know some of y'all don't care what the backstory is. But sometimes when I see how a person grew up, I know her mother was addicted to drugs. She's got these mental health care facilities. She got the son at home, and the son got the baby mamas. The baby mamas asking her for stuff. She got this husband that I don't really, like I said, we're going to talk about the husbands. She just got it just seems like a lot is on her plate, and it doesn't really seem like she has a lot of familial support. And I'm not even sure if she just has a lot of support in general. And, I don't know. I mean, it's like some empathy there, but at the same time, you got to call a thing. And confronting Latrice about her hair at this event, especially the way in which she did it, probably wasn't a good move. But guess what? We got to get something started on these shows, okay? Because Carlos said. So Marie's storyline really just centers around her beef with Latrice, her beef with a little bit of beef with Antoinette, a little bit on behalf of Latrice. Honey, Marie got the smoke for anybody who want it, really. Whoever want it can get a piece of Marie. She speak her mind and she don't care. Everybody can get it. Her son can get it. All right. The husband, not husband, can get it. Everybody can get it except for Essie, who is her homegirl and also her soulmate. Listen. We gonna move on. But yeah, Miss Marie, I mean, I didn't dislike Marie by the time season 1 was over. I understood her a little bit more, but I don't always want to see sis mad. That's all I'm saying. And then she got lupus too. Like, it's just too much going on with Marie. All right, so now let's talk about some of the things that happened on the show. All right, so overall, like I said, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed a lot of the things that I saw on the show. I admire the project that they're trying to get off the ground, and I hope they are able to get it off the ground. So how do I want to approach this? A couple of things that happened on the show, and I'm going to just let me tie this all up with a bow, because everybody already has seen season 1, so ain't no need in me talking about it this long. But I think that the beef over the hair, of course, is silly, but I know we need something to antagonize on this show. So I understand how reality television works. I just hate that they're beefing over some hair. At one point, it seems like it's going to die down. We get Latrice apologizing, even though I don't feel like Latrice did anything to Marie. She did also offer her some free hair to correct it. Latrice does not believe that hair came from her store, but at the same time, whoever did the wig, she said that she doesn't think that he would switch the hair. But either way, she corrects the mistake, and they still beefing. They still continue to beef. Like I said, they might dissolve it in season 2. But by the end of season 1 at the reunion, they were still arguing. So I don't know. I need Latrice to learn how to read, okay? Because the reunion, she was not doing a good job. It was just whatever, girl, okay? You rent, I own. I was like, girl, Carlos King, get him in the shade classes pronto. But I just hate that they were beefing over hair. I hate to see the ladies beefing in general, but I knew it was coming. You know, we might as well just get over that whole, every time black people get on TV, we can't never see no The reason why is because nobody would watch it. Nobody would watch it. And I know that it's sad, but that's just what it is. Okay. They got to create some kind of drama for these shows so it can get the ratings and people actually tune in every week to watch. That is just what that is. So yeah, the hair beef, silly, but that's when the two of them decide that they not gonna like each other. Do I believe that Marie is insecure or feel some type of way about Latisha? Possibly. I don't think it's an insecurity within herself where she feels like she is not capable of having all of the things that Latrice has, but maybe she feels like Latrice's life is so easy and she doesn't really have to do the same things that Marie has to do. It could be one of those things. But do I think she believes that she can't have the things that Latrice has? No, I believe she knows she can have them, but the work ethic is just going to have to be a little bit different, between the two of them, because Latrice has a lot more on her plate, family wise, business wise, health wise than, did I say Latrice? I meant Marie has a lot more on her plate than Latrice does. All these names, girl. What else happened on the show that I wanted to talk about? Okay. Y'all, these husbands. I don't want to talk bad about nobody, man, but why? Why do these folks get up on TV and do the things? Glenn. Now, I got what Glenn was saying. When I come home, I need them yams and I need you acting right. He's only home a certain amount of days out of the month. I get it. And I understood his point. But when he came through with the contract, to me, I thought the contract was going to be, I need you to fulfill your wifely duties when I'm home. The contract was about some money. He need to be getting 50% of whatever it is that she about to do, because he need to secure himself. And see, right then and there, I knew that Glenn was trying to set himself up financially just in case he gonna have to leave this woman. And I knew that there was some other activity going on. I just knew it. She had already said that they had some infidelity issues previously. But the way that Glenn was moving about this contract, I was like, yeah, Glenn, you trying to get on up out the door. And I would have gladly gave him the contract. And one of the stipulations would have been no cheating. As soon as you cheat, you foregoing all this money. See, that's one thing about when you get married young and you don't have nothing anyway. You might have to redo some of the terms and agreements a little bit later on, and that's fine. But as soon as you cheat, you could forget your 51%. That's what I do know. But by the time we get to the reunion, it's not about the money. It's about the love. But we also find out at the reunion that Glenn had a baby with somebody. Now they gonna talk about that some more in season 2, y'all. Let me know if they gonna talk about it, because it didn't surprise me though. I'm gonna say it did not surprise me. Glenn I hate to say it, he just seems slick to me. And while I do believe I think he loves Latisha. I think he loves Latisha, but I just don't think I think he's looking for it out when it comes to her. Hate to say that, but I do. Marie, what you bring that man on the show for that used to be your husband, but he not your husband no more? And what is wrong with him? On that reunion, I was just like, is he slow? What was he? Every time somebody asked him a question, he started talking all around the question. I don't know who this man is, Marie. I don't know if you want to be with him. You don't want to be with him. But she said they were hoping to get back together. I just think Marie needed to bring somebody on this show. I'm not sure what's going on with them in season 2, like I said, but to me, it seems like she has more of a loving relationship with her friend Essie. And even though they say they've never been romantically involved, I don't want to say I don't believe them, because I'm sure it's annoying to hear people saying that if it's not true. I'm just going to say maybe y'all should try it. And then I'm going to leave it at that. Who the other husband's child? Zaddy, he okay. I mean, Zaddy's not terrible. I do believe, though, that I think he purposely sets out to make Latrice feel a little bit insecure. I think that's why he compliments other women in front of her. I think that's why he kind of makes certain statements to her that are somewhat belittling, kind of come off in a joking manner, but not really. I think he likes to keep Latrice in a humble position, so that she'll kind of know, I don't know, like, who's in charge around there. That's what I feel like sometimes when he deals with her. But I guess overall, Zaddy is, why am I calling him Zaddy, child? I guess he is okay. I know in season 2, he's wanting her to have a baby, probably so she could slow down some, because I do believe he has a grown child already, if I'm not mistaken. But if I had to pick a husband, I guess it would be him, because the rest of them, no, and no. I already talked about Marie's husband, but not husband. The other man in her life, her son, like, get it together. Like, I know that we do the best that we can, and we raise up our children, and we hope they're gonna turn out well. But sometimes when you've done all you can, you just gotta let them learn the hard way. And to me, I think her son could use a little bit of tough love. You got 3 babies by 3 different women. You got me doing stuff for them so that you don't look like a deadbeat. And you still living up in the house thinking you could talk to me crazy. Like, yeah, that's just not gonna work. You're gonna disrespect me, you're gonna have to go somewhere else with that, because I can't, with everything else I got going on and trying to take care of your children and run my business. Absolutely not. I just think she needs to take some stuff off her plate, specifically the whole thing and the whole drama with the boys. It seems like she does have a big heart, just because she's already doing all of that for her grandchildren. It just seems like she's trying to take care of a lot of people, including her mother. So something tells me that underneath that demeanor, there is a person who has a lot of love in her heart, for people. She does wear a very, very hard exterior, though. I want Marie to just, I just want her to live. You know, I don't want her to walk around with a grudge or upset or any of that. I just think she needs to set boundaries with people, get some stuff worked up out her life, and just focus on her happiness and the things that she needs to be successful in her business. I think that needs to be it. As far as her drama with Latrice, like I said, it's silly. It's about some hair. Why? Why are we arguing about some hair? It was frustrating to even watch them arguing over that constantly. But yeah, that's the main source of the drama. I know by the end of the season, there was some talk amongst each of the ladies about Latrice supposedly or possibly talking to some blogs about them. While I don't think it was intentional, I do think Latrice is unintentionally messy. What I mean by that is, I think Latrice goes and has conversations with people. Y'all know how it is, especially when you do hair, right? Especially when you're in some type of hair industry. I think she's probably had like harmless conversations with people about stuff that's happened with some of the ladies on the show. She may have made some shady comments. Those shady comments get back to Latisha, get back to Marie, and then next thing you know, we have a whole mess on our hands. And Latisha pretty much said, like, I definitely have heard things that have come out from people, and when I trace it back, it ends up in Latrice's hands. So they do have some little drama centered around that. But as far as the blogs go, honey, allegedly, according to the people, the person who spilled the blog tea was Kaylin. And Kaylin said she never really was trying to spill any tea. She was never really trying to be malicious or try to find out anything about anybody. She was just using it in case she needed it for her defense. Now, who is Kaylin, you ask? Kaylin is a girl that I don't believe should be there. Kaylin is the girl who got very upset at brunch when all of the black women were sitting around discussing their experiences, what they had been through. They were talking racism. They also were talking colorism, which that conversation, I always hate how that conversation goes because, yeah, I don't think people fully understand it still. But, yeah, Kaylin proceeds to get up and cry and say, we don't talk about y'all like that. And it was infuriating. I am not going to lie, you guys. That whole scene was infuriating to me. I don't care about your tears. I don't care about you crying. I don't care about you feeling like, oh, I'm not one of those. It doesn't matter. We're in a room. We're discussing our experiences and we should be allowed to. Who invited you here? That was my question. As soon as I saw her, who invited you here? And I don't want to hear nothing from nobody about no diversity and inclusion. My whole life is diversity and inclusion. I always got to include. I always got to diversify. That's what we've been doing our whole entire lives. If we want to do something where it's just us involved, if we want a space where we can discuss what we are going through, we should be able to do that without having to follow and coddle and wipe somebody else's tears, if you know what I mean. Now I wouldn't be me if I didn't say that. So that whole thing just aggravated me, and I just don't think she needs to be a part of it, and I don't think she needs to be on the show. And I don't care who don't like it. So I said it. But a lot of the stuff from the blogs ended up being traced back to her. I don't know what's going to go down with her in season 2, but I know by the end of season 1, I wasn't feeling her. And I wasn't feeling Antoinette because I know that her and Antoinette were cool. And I felt like Antoinette brought her in possibly as a buffer, you know, for herself. And that probably made Antoinette more comfortable. But Antoinette, girl, no. You know what I'm like? No, this is not that. This project has to do with something that we, black women, are trying to do. No. That's just it. No. So I was a little perturbed at Antoinette as well, but you know, I still like Antoinette, but I was a little disturbed by that. What else? I think those were the main things. The thing with Kaylin, the hair thing, these husbands, and how I feel like they do not want to take a back seat to the success of their women. I think Zaddy is okay with his woman being successful, but she just can't. I don't think he wants Latisha to get to the point where, is it Latisha? Latrice, sorry, getting to the point where she outgrows him, if you will. But yeah, overall, I like the show. I enjoyed the show. I do enjoy all of the ladies. I'm hoping for the best with the project. I do hope they're all able to get it together. I will continue to watch. I'm going to catch up on season 2 throughout the week and try to get another review out there. You guys let me know what you thought about season 1. Do you enjoy the show? Do you enjoy the ladies? Who's your favorite? And then who are you not really feeling like that? Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all for the next video. Bye.